So on behalf of the NDC Minority Caucus, let me convey to the national leadership of our party our warmest felicitations and best wishes at 30 years anniversary of the great Akatamanso family. And to assure you of the determination of the group to work with you and the grassroots and all other structures of our party to rescue this country from the non-performing party referred to as the New Patriotic Party. And that we owe it to the memory of our founder and leader, President Jerry John Rawlings, to the late President Mills, and the lives of the late Justice D.F. Annan and Captain retired Kojo Chikata, and to all those who have made enormous sacrifices from the branches through the district to through the constituencies to lay their lives for the formation and eventual maturity of the NDC as a new political force. We say Aiko. And to those of you sometimes very critical of the NDC, let us all remain united. When our national chairman of Osuampofo was addressing us, he highlighted 3 values: unity, stability, and development. To the Ghanaian people and to the New Patriotic Party, I say without any fear of contradiction that there is no political party as successful as the NDC under the 4th Republic. I say without fear of contradiction that there is no political party that has contributed to the economic, social, and democratic transformation of our country than the National Democratic Congress. I heard Professor Dansu Boafo attempting to explain to us how the thinking of a national health insurance began, but lately implemented by the New Patriotic Party, to which they take credit. We understand you all right. But at least what we should accept is that the National Democratic Congress have contributed immensely to Ghana becoming a beacon of hope and a champion of democracy in Africa and in West Africa by facilitating and participating in all the best political traditions that have happened from 2001 through 2005 to 2009 to 2024, that we are certain that the NDC will recapture political power. To my colleague members of parliament, the focus should be on how do we join hands with the national executives to increase our numbers beyond 137. At least lessons learned, we now know the value of just 1 seat. If we had 138, 139, we probably could suffocate them better and demand justice to many other decisions that they have forced through. But at least as our brand expert Dr. Seydou said, the NDC can learn from a brand of a party which is an amalgam of diverse personalities with diverse views from different backgrounds of our country, contributing meaningfully to the social and economic development of our country. I cannot proceed further without also acknowledging how Alhaji Hudu Yahya then recruited a few of us quietly into the NDC by saying, come and assist me to draft this statement. Little did we know that we will end up also playing major roles as in the party today. I should say that having followed him and Dr. Chambers, it took Atua Hoy to then adopt me and my group. So to many of the young people who are even in parliament today, we owe it to the tremendous purpose and tenacity of Atua Hoy and the Hoy family in bringing and guiding us. And to the young ones, lessons to learn. Alhaji Muhammad Iddrisu, as we are told, have laid his life in the service of our country. At least I've learned one unique thing from him that I may share with you. But at least I was telling our distinguished chairman that I enjoy what Captain Chikata used to call me to order anytime he was unhappy with the minority leadership. His first question to me would be, Haruna, how is the spirit the core of the caucus and the minority group? So to all of us, at all times, let's ask for the spirit, the core of our party. To what extent are we holding hands together to work together to win political party power to change the fortunes of our country? At least their generation, you see them every day. Now let me come to the economics of it. Those of you who even say, I had Dr. Seidu from University of Ghana. That's the beauty of intellectual debate. This country, Ghana, owes it to Jerry Rawlings and the NDC of a liberalized economy that allowed for private participation in the economic management of this country and not to the New Patriotic Party. Historical fact. This country, even in terms of economic performance, and that will be my concluding message, leaders of the NDC, members of the NDC, let's be proud of the NDC legacy and nothing more. We have an unenviable legacy when it comes even to the performance of the economy. Today you are talking about inflation at 27%. Under President Mills' NDC, we achieve consistently over a long period of time, probably unparalleled, the single-digit inflation sustained over a period of time. Under President Mills and the NDC, we achieved the highest growth to the gross domestic product of this country at 14.1%, unparalleled in our country's history. And we achieved unparalleled infrastructure expansion in this country. And I just share a few with you as I end. That is why we say, be proud of our legacy. Whether today Nana Adudankwa is boasting about Kumasi Airport or Tamale Airport, the foundation stones were laid by the NDC and by John Dramani Mahama to liberalize and open up this economy for expansive trade. That happened. Don't use only Terminal 3. Don't use only Terminal 3 as your judgment. At least, I see Professor Nana smiling. Unlike them, we expanded access to tertiary education. But we didn't go about naming the universities after people. That is what they are very good at. We create the institutions. We expanded access to tertiary education. You can count of a tertiary institution in every other part of the country, whether in the Volta region, in the northern region, the UDS led by Jerry Rawlings. But we're not smart in naming it after persons who have served our party. So probably in future, we will learn from them. My quest for the NDC is that we should remain a party of opportunity. Opportunity for youth, opportunity for women, and provide a protective space for our women who may not be able to engage in the rigorous blackmail campaign. But probably working with the national executive, we need to draw a roadmap and a new strategy as to how to determine members of parliament democratically, whilst weighing and watering down the influence of money in the choice of our candidates for competitive elections within the NDC. The minority leadership and caucus will be happy to do a fair assessment of our candidates and their constituencies in order to guide future action. At least to General Asedu Nkatia and to Kofi Ato. And that is what warms my heart today. This is not the NDC where Isif Wali just declared by popular acclamation Kofi Ato elected, Asedu Nkatia elected, without subjecting them to a democratic process. So we have come very far, and we need to deepen the values and ethos of democracy within the party, give opportunity to every other person within the party to realize their full potential within established rules and norms established by the party. And more importantly, as was observed, discipline within the party is important. Let me conclude by assuring you that those of you sometimes who are unhappy with the minority, we are not a perfectionist group, but at least we are a group that has produced for you a speaker. Even with 137, is no mean an achievement to have Alban Smart Bagbin, in whom we trust that he will deepen the values of transparency and accountability and make Parliament a more formidable institution. But at least even as we celebrate it, let me now come and pick a slide from Dr. Sedu when he talks about predictability of the judiciary and the dilemma of a political minority of 137. Those of you who are quick to blame the NDC minority for e-levy, e-levy was not introduced by John Mahama, neither was it introduced by NDC, nor introduced by the NDC minority in Parliament. Place the responsibility and blame squarely on the non-performing Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. We have done our utmost best. I've seen those of you question even our judgment in going to the Supreme Court. And probably, Chairman, I end on that note. Ghana is a country governed by law. We are very convinced that there is an assault on the rule of law. And as you observe, Dr. Sedu, this is not a country where freedom of expression is respected as it ought to be. This is not a country where media independence and freedoms is respected as it ought to be. This is the first time in our nation's history that the country stands so divided and polarized against a president who is insensitive, who would not listen, who prides himself in borrowing. And I just end on that note that we have a proud legacy. We must be ready to defend the legacy of the party at all levels across the districts and regions of our country in terms of infrastructure. As I observe, if John Dramani Mahama as president was going to borrow as irresponsible as they did, he probably could have tripled the kind of infrastructure they are building today, to which they say that we should give them credit. At the time of leaving office, we left a national debt of 120 billion. Today is 400 billion. And GDP, 81% of our national debt is used in servicing GDP. And they will tell you that they are better managers of the economy. Let me conclude once again by thanking all of you, thanking my colleagues in Parliament, and say, if for nothing at all, the NDC have produced for this country responsible leadership. From General Rawlings through President Mills, through President John Dramani Mahama, and is prepared for the future to do more. I thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much indeed. The Honorable Minority Leader and Member of Parliament for the Tamale South